If you are a senior and you're worried about your food stamp benefits, you are not alone. The headlines are scary. This is the latest headline: 9 million people are at risk of losing their food stamp benefits due to the recently passed bill by the House of Representatives that's going to gut the program by $230 billion, one of the largest cuts to food stamps in a long time. And seniors are going to bear the brunt of this, because of a lot of seniors that were on food stamps are now going to be knocked off because of new requirements, including work requirements that are about to be made permanent. So let's get into it. But there is more. So stay till the end of this video, because I want to talk to you about Social Security check delays because of Doge, which is headed by Elon Musk. They are breaking so much in the Social Security system that the immediately past commissioner of the Social Security Administration is warning that there could be delays in Social Security checks within the next 30 to 90 days because of how much is happening in the Social Security Administration. I have all the news. I'm going to bring it to you. Stay tuned. If you are new here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because all we do is bring you the latest news and updates, anything in and out of Congress that is going to affect your Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and more. So let me know where you're watching from. As always, when I start my broadcast, I want to know what your city and state, where are you watching this from currently? Let me know in the comment section. Let's get started. So if you look at the headlines recently about food stamps, nothing is good. It's been a lifesaver. Millions risk going hungry as Republicans propose slashing food stamps. SNAP helps more than 42 million people and is considered the country's most effective tool to fight hunger. So, if this statement is true, why are Republicans determined to gut the program? Republicans say veterans must contribute to get food stamps. This is from a representative in Congress, Representative Pat Fallon of Texas, has a warning for veterans. You will have to contribute to society if you need food assistance. I mean, if you are a veteran and you hear this, I'm sure this can be triggering, especially if you've served your country and you're getting assistance, and a member of Congress is telling you you will have to contribute to society in order to get assistance. Here is the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities. Millions of low-income households would lose food aid under proposed House Republican rules to cut benefits. So what is this about? Well, there are four different changes that are coming up that are going to devastate the food stamp program. I've done the research. I have the latest updates. Let's start with the craziest of all the ideas, which is an idea that I thought President Trump had given up on during his first term, but has come back in full force. Is called the Harvest Box. This is where Trump wants to take a huge chunk of your food stamp benefits from your EBT cards, and you would not be able to use your EBT card to buy your own food, at least a majority of it. Instead, the government will ship you a box of shelf stable foods. I'm not joking. This was something that he started in 2019. The Democrats took over Congress, they blocked it later, and now it is back because now they have the entire Congress. They can do whatever they want. So now I have seen this in three different news publications. Here it is. Trump's previous budgets outlined major changes to SNAP. His 2021 budget proposals included introducing additional work requirements as well as a Harvest Box initiative, which will replace a significant portion of SNAP benefits with a monthly government selected box of shelf stable foods, limiting households' ability to choose their own groceries. And then this is another news headline: how Trump administration could leave families hungry, potential cuts to SNAP in 2025 and beyond. And here it is again. It says the largest cut Trump attempted was to withhold a portion of benefits and instead provide recipients a box of non-perishable food. That is the Harvest Box. And then here it is again in another news headline. Trump's past budgets have envisioned much more sweeping cuts. His last one proposed a nearly 30% cut to the program, including a new requirement on top of already harsh work requirements, and a plan to shift a big share of the program into a harvest box, a plan which household would not get the choice or the chance to buy their own food, but instead be sent a monthly box of shelf-stable foods that the government picks. And so it's going to gut the program and return some of it in form of a can or shelf-stable foods that will be mailed to you every month. And the logistics alone of mailing food to 42 million people in the country blows my mind. But this is what they're trying to do to save money. But it's really to rip you of your right to buy the food that you want. People who have health issues, who are allergic to certain foods, who have problems eating certain food or digesting certain food, who will now be given foods that they have no choice in picking, which is what is being proposed. And the House Agricultural Committee Chair, Glenn Thompson, is fully on board with gutting the program and taking $230 billion from the food stamps program. And previously, when Trump wanted to do this harvest box idea, he outlined it in his budget. It was $181 billion in savings, and $123 billion of it was the harvest box. As you can see in the list that I've provided, cut SNAP benefits and shift a portion to food boxes. That was the previous budget, and now they're bringing this idea back again in order to save money and pass the biggest tax cuts for the rich we've ever seen in a long time. So, what is the second change that is coming? They're going to cut food stamps very deeply, and a lot of people are going to be impacted. I want to share with you who exactly is going to be impacted by these deep cuts, because food pantries are even preparing, they're bracing themselves because they know what's coming. So, let's talk about the 10 ways by which the GOP cuts to food stamps is going to affect ordinary people. The first one is reduced monthly benefit. The proposal to limit updates to the Thrifty plan would directly cut the current average benefit of $620 per day. That is how much the average person gets in SNAP benefits per day, which is already insufficient for many families. These reductions will force difficult choices between food and other necessities like medicine, utilities, as many recipients already report their benefits run out before the end of the month. The second change is expanded work requirement. Current work requirements for adults between 18 and 54 would be expanded, and this is where seniors need to pay attention and veterans. It is going to be expanded to include age 55 to 65 and veterans and young adults who are aging out of foster care. This would particularly harm older Americans who face age discrimination in employment and those with undiagnosed health conditions that make consistent work difficult but don't qualify for disabilities. Then there's a loss of state flexibility, converting SNAP to a block grant. The block grant is the worst idea ever. What they're going to do is that, regardless of how many people are in a state that need help, they're going to send the state a pot of money by population. So if your state runs out of that money, then it's out of luck. And so the current SNAP system looks at the need. It doesn't look at how much how many people are in a particular state. It looks at how many people in the state need help. They're gonna scrap that and do block grants where they send your state a pot of money, and whoever is applying for food stamps applies, and then when the money runs out, it runs out. This is a terrible idea, and they're trying to do that. They are going to propose eliminating broad-based eligibility, where over 40 states are able to have flexibility to provide food stamp benefits to people in their population. Then there's going to be new verification requirements that will create additional paperwork and barriers for recipients. These hurdles would particularly affect seniors, those with limited transportation, people with disabilities, and those working difficult or multiple jobs who struggle to navigate the complex bureaucracy. Senior nutrition programs are going to be compromised. Approximately 9 million seniors struggle with food insecurity, and the SNAP cuts will force more to choose between adequate nutrition and medicine. Malnutrition among seniors leads to increased falls, hospitalization, and nursing home placements that could otherwise be prevented through adequate food assistance. And then there's going to be loss of specialized diet options. Many seniors and disabled individuals require specialized diets for medical conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, or kidney disease. Reduced benefits could make these often more expensive to afford specialized foods, so it becomes unaffordable and will increase or worsen their chronic health conditions. And then there's going to be increased dependence on food banks. As stated by Jason Riggs of the Food Runner Food Bank, food banks are not going to be able to fill the gap that is going to be caused by these devastating cuts to food stamp benefits. And then rural areas are going to be impacted too. In rural areas where grocery options are limited, SNAP cuts will compound existing food access problems. Rural seniors, in particular, could face difficult journeys to find affordable food, as these areas often have higher concentration of elderly residents with fewer transportation options. And then there's going to be mental health impact. The stress and anxiety of food insecurity takes a significant psychological toll, especially on seniors who live through historical periods of scarcity. I mean, certain seniors can go back all the way to the Great Depression or periods in the 1970s where food was scarce, and research shows that food insecurity is linked to increased depression and anxiety among older adults, which can accelerate cognitive decline and reduce quality of life. So, how is this going to impact Americans? Well, over 42 million Americans receive SNAP benefits monthly, with children making up the largest group of recipients. The program serves 11.6% of children under 5 and a whopping 26% of children between the age 5 and 17, making it a crucial support for Americans. And believe me, some people think that this is not going to affect their state. It doesn't matter whether you're in a blue, red, or purple state, it's going to affect everybody because the highest SNAP rates are found in states across all the country. Oregon, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Illinois, West Virginia, Washington, D.C. are all very high percentage SNAP states. And it's going to impact local populations. Let's take, for example, Tennessee. Tennessee provides a striking example with 80,000 people relying on SNAP benefits across its 95 counties. These benefits not only help families afford food, but also support local grocery stores and farmers market throughout the state. And here is how you can even get granular. In Tennessee, areas like Shelby County demonstrate the critical need for SNAP with 13.4% food insecurity rate. Plus, while 51% of food insecure residents are above currently eligibility lines. This indicates that even more people need assistance than currently receive. So, in a state with 13% food insecurity in a county, 51% of the people in those food insecure households do not qualify for SNAP. So you can see that there is even more of a need than is currently being met. So cutting the program even further is causing even more damage than it should. Local businesses are going to be impacted. SNAP benefits provide crucial support to local grocery stores, farmers markets, and food retailers in communities across the country. SNAP benefits generates about $1.79 in economic activity for every dollar that is spent, making it an important economic driver in many communities. Also, it's an economic stimulus. The program automatically expands during economic downturns and helping communities weather financial crisis while supporting local businesses. These automatic responses help prevent deeper economic hardship during the pandemic and previous recessions. And state budget proposed changes will shift across states and become a devastating thing because state revenues are typically lowest when the country is struggling. And cutting SNAP, it means that states are not going to be able to support their own people if the burden for food stamps is shifted to the states. And then here's another huge data that a lot of people don't know. Approximately 80% of SNAP authorized retailers, it means that businesses that are authorized to receive SNAP benefits, or accept SNAP benefits are small businesses, 80%, that depend on the program for a significant portion of their revenue. Many of these businesses operate in low income areas where few grocery stores operate. And there's so many things happening with this, but let me talk about how you can take action. Call your senator. The bill has already passed the House, it's headed to the Senate. Call your senator and let them know that it's not okay. Stay informed. You can find your own news, whatever source you trust for news. You will find that this is happening. Go to the Congress website, go to the House of Representatives website, and look at the recently passed budget resolution. This is all in there. $230 billion they're going to cut. So it's important to make sure that you are staying on top of this news and expressing your opposition if this is going to affect you or affect people that you know in a negative way. The third thing they want to do is ban junk food from food stamps. This is an initiative that is being proposed by the governor of Arkansas that has taken a lot of heat recently, but also is getting a lot of support. And what they want to do is ban food stamp recipients from using their benefits to buy junk food. And the argument is that using food stamps to buy junk food is increasing unhealthy conditions and worsening certain chronic diseases. SNAP is a $113 billion federal program where 23% of purchases are spent on soda, unhealthy snacks, candy, and desserts. This spending pattern has raised concerns among some officials about the program's impact on public health. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is requesting a SNAP waiver to prohibit junk food purchases while promoting fresh fruit, vegetables, eggs, and protein. The proposal aims to redirect SNAP spending towards healthier food choices. The request is directed to incoming Trump administration officials, including HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins. Both nominees have previously expressed support for healthier food choices. Arkansas could serve as a test case for restrictions, citing the 1/3 of the state residents suffer from diabetes. That's a big number. 1/3 of the state suffers from diabetes or prediabetes, and 40% of residents in Arkansas struggle with obesity. Now, there's been studies about this, and I don't disagree with banning junk food. But my problem with this is that what is motivating people to buy junk food with their food stamps? A lot of the time is because it's the cheapest food option. And with the average person getting $6.20 a day to live off of when they are on food stamps, what can you buy that is healthy for 3 meals a day that will get you for $6.20? So in my opinion, a lot of people are using this to buy junk food because it's the cheapest food they can buy to meet their nutritional need, because healthy food is expensive. So on one hand, the same government that is trying to gut the program is the same government that is trying to restrict what you can buy with your food stamps or send you harvest boxes that are not healthy. And I tell you, don't use your food stamps to buy junk food, yet they're trying to cut the amount of food stamps you're going to get. It all does not make sense to me. I am all in support of banning junk food with food stamps. I'm just saying, if you're going to do that, you have to increase the benefits so that people can afford healthy food. The next thing they're going to do is impose strict work requirements. And this is going to impact seniors the most. The current work requirements affects 18 to age 54. And they have to work 20 hours per week to receive SNAP benefits. In this new proposal, they're going to increase the work requirements to age 55 to 65. So they're going to make sure that seniors between age 55 to 65 would have to work 20 hours a week, or they're going to lose their food stamp benefits. And that's going to impact 1.4 million older Americans who already face significant age discrimination in the job market. And then they're also going to limit states' ability to provide flexibility in areas of high unemployment and offer food stamps to people in need in those areas. So if you're senior between age 55 to 65 and you're getting SNAP benefits, your life is about to be made a little bit harder, because if you don't work 20 hours a week, they are going to cut your benefit. Veterans are also going to be impacted. Approximately 30% of veterans report service-connected disabilities that may not qualify for full disability benefit, but still need help and assistance. And many struggle with PTSD, substance abuse, homelessness that make maintaining steady employment very difficult. Foster kids that are transitioning from foster homes are going to be impacted, and there's going to be so much documentation that's going to be required to be eligible for food stamps that a lot of people are going to be frustrated and are going to be kicked off the program. So I want you to tell me, what do you think about these changes that are happening to food stamps? This is devastating to a lot of people, especially seniors, who are about to be knocked off the program because they are not working 20 hours a week, when a lot of them are struggling to find work. And the age limit has always been 18 to 54, and now they're about to increase it from 55 to 65. In order to receive SNAP benefits, you have to work if you are in those age groups. Let me know what you think in the comments. Which of these proposals do you think is wise? Which of these proposals is going to affect you? How is it going to affect your SNAP benefits? Is there anybody in your family that is going to be impacted? Let me know in the comments section below. And I have more. But before we go there, let's talk about Medicare for a second. This is close to my heart because 90% of seniors are in the wrong Medicare program. A lot of you don't know that. Why is that? Well, it's because there's 24,000 Medicare plans out there, and it's very difficult for seniors to navigate to find the best Medicare program that fits their need, fits their budget, and the coverage that they are looking for. Well, we have help now. Chapter Medicare, who we've partnered with, are a great company that are the only advisory company, the only Medicare advisory company with access to all 24,000 Medicare plans. You heard that right. They are the only company that can see all the plans. And here is one of the biggest reasons why we're partnering with them. Their licensed advisors do not work for commission. So they are not getting on the phone with you to sell you the most expensive plan so that they can get the biggest commission. No. They are there to help you find the best Medicare plan that meets your budget and your needs and the coverage that you are looking for. And on average, they're able to save seniors $1,100 per year. But you have to act now, because there's a short window that ends at the end of March where you can switch to a better plan. So call them at the number on the screen, or go into the comments, or go to the description in this video, and you will see a phone number or a form that you can fill out quickly, and then they will reach out to you to help you find the best Medicare plan that fits your needs. So call them on the number you see on the screen. Now, let's talk about something that has hit the news. If you're concerned or have issues or have anxiety around your Social Security benefits, you are not alone, because Doge is causing a lot of havoc that is threatening to delay Social Security benefits. Let's get right into it. So Elon Musk recently, a few days ago, said the Social Security program is the biggest Ponzi scheme ever. This sparked a lot of backlash for him, saying that. Even Bernie Sanders stepped in. Sanders says Musk is wrong for calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme. He says the veteran politician was astonished to hear that the world's richest man is dunking on U.S. seniors when many elderly citizens are forced to get on as little as $15,000 a year. And on top of that, all the things that the Elon Musk and his 19-year-old, 20-year-olds Doge bros are doing with the Social Security system has gotten people so concerned that the immediate past commissioner of the Social Security Administration, Martin O'Malley, said this on CNBC recently. He's so worried that they're going to break something in the system that he thinks that within the next 30 to 90 days, the Doge is going to cause so much havoc with the Social Security system and program that benefits are going to be delayed. And the headlines point in that direction. Doge is on a cutting spree. The Social Security workers want it is going to affect your benefit. That's from Business Insider. And ProPublica did an investigative piece. Anxiety mounts among senior Social Security recipients as Doge troops settle in. Elon Musk's team has descended on an already understaffed Social Security administration, which now faces further workforce cuts and closures of vital offices. The consequences will be significant for millions of most vulnerable Americans. Here's another headline. Sources tell Prospect that the meeting called for a 50% reduction in an agency that millions rely on for benefit implementation. That is a recent meeting that happens about the Social Security offices, according to Doge. And here is Martin O'Malley. Social Security has never missed a payment. Doge actions threatening interruption of benefits, ex-agency head is saying. So what is this about? Well, let's look at it. Former Social Security Commissioner Martin O'Malley warns that monthly benefits checks for 72.5 million Americans are at risk due to Doge actions. He predicts possible payment interruptions within the next 30 to 90 days. Social Security has never missed a payment in its over 80-year history of sending monthly benefits. This potential interruption will break an unbroken record of reliability that seniors and disabled Americans have relied on. The Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, led by Elon Musk, has initiated significant changes at the Social Security Administration. These changes are part of the Trump administration's broader effort to reduce government spending and workforce. So how should you prepare for this? Here's Martin O'Malley again. Former Commissioner O'Malley advised people to start saving now. This means seniors who are getting Social Security should start saving now ahead of any potential interruption in benefits. This suggestion indicates the seriousness of the situation for those who rely on Social Security as their primary source of income. The Social Security Administration is experiencing leadership turmoil, with multiple high-ranking officials leaving. Acting Commissioner Michelle King recently resigned following a reported disagreement over Doge's access to sensitive information. Lee Dudek has been appointed as acting commissioner while Trump's nominee awaits Senate confirmation. Dudek was previously placed on administrative leave for helping Doge representatives. Senator Elizabeth Warren has highlighted a LinkedIn post where Dudek claimed he bullied agency executives to help Doge. The post, which has since been deleted, suggests Dudek may have acted against agency policy or even illegally. 24 senior members of the Social Security hierarchy have left the organization, and is the largest such departure of senior executives in one time. There's more. There's workforce reductions. The Social Security Administration announced to cut 7,000 jobs, representing 12% of its workforce. Here is why this is crazy. More people are receiving Social Security than ever in history, and the Social Security staffing level is at an all-time low. That is where we're starting. That's the baseline. So when you think about it, for an organization that is supporting more people than ever and is at the lowest in terms of staffing, have you called the Social Security Administration recently? You're probably going to be on hold for a long time. That is today. And now they're cutting more jobs. So what that is going to do is it's going to make an already understaffed organization even worse at serving seniors and people on disability. Those cuts come when the agency is already at a 50-year staffing low while serving the highest number of beneficiaries in history. Agency employees warn that the current staffing is barely adequate to meet public needs. And all this is coming because of Doge running rampant and making cuts everywhere they go. They are closing offices. SSA plans to close 10 regional offices and consolidate them into 4 offices. They are closing local offices around the country. Rural offices are going to be impacted. The closure of local offices will disproportionately affect seniors in rural communities who may have fewer alternatives for accessing services. transportation challenges for elderly and disabled individuals could make accessing more distant offices even difficult or impossible. And then, if you're on disability or know somebody that is applying, this is important. Many of the offices that are closing are where they hold disability hearings. So it's going to make it harder to find an office, or you have to travel further in order to go for your disability hearings if you're applying for benefits. And these are the 10 offices that were announced recently that were going to close, and more are on their way. White Plains, New York; Logan, West Virginia; Carlsbad, California; Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina; Batesville, Arkansas; Columbus, Ohio; Okemos, Michigan; one in Texas; Green Bay, Wisconsin; and Las Vegas, Nevada. And this is just the beginning. They are tampering with the IT systems. O'Malley warned that significant staff cuts have already led to system outages at the Social Security Administration. These intermittent IT outages may happen more frequently as these cuts continue, and it may ultimately lead to a system collapse. They're already running on outdated technology, and O'Malley has been trying to lobby Congress when he was in charge to try to modernize their system. So Michelle King, the previous acting commissioner, reportedly resigned after disagreeing with DOJ's request for access to sensitive data. There are ongoing concerns about data security and appropriate access for DOJ. How is it going to impact you? There's going to be long wait times. If you're claiming benefits, it's going to take a long time for them to process your paperwork. If you're trying to get verification of your benefit from Social Security, which has to be processed by a manual, somebody, a representative or an employee, if they are cutting a lot of the workforce, there's going to be delays in getting documentation verification, and errors are going to increase, leading to overpayments. And overpayments is not something that you can keep. The government will come back later, even though they made the mistake and paid you more than you deserve, and you submitted all your paperwork and they never got around to processing it on time. If they pay you more money than you deserve, they're going to come back years later and collect it. They've put a lot of people in debt, 20,000, 40,000, 80,000. Sometimes people have been collecting Social Security benefits for years. And then the government comes to them and say, hey, we've been paying you more than you deserve. We want all that money back. And then they will cut your benefits or stop your benefits completely until they've paid back everything that you owe before they are going to resume your benefits. So this cuts in Social Security employees has consequences beyond just benefits. It can affect people's lives in devastating ways. Now, DOJ claims that there's a lot of fraud, that 100-year-old people are getting Social Security benefits, and they haven't provided evidence because, according to the Inspector General, DOJ is claiming there's hundreds of billions of fraud, but the Inspector General says between 2015 and 2022, they only found 1% fraud, which is $71 billion of erroneous payments, which were mostly overpayments, not deceased individuals. So they were paying people more money than they deserve, but it is not because people who are dead are getting benefits. And there's many, many reasons why people get overpayments, especially seniors that are on Social Security before their full retirement age and are working and are supposed to report their earnings to Social Security so that their benefits will be adjusted. Some people do not comply with that or submit the paperwork and it's not processed in time, and it leads to overpayment. People on disability benefits experience overpayment because they are also supposed to report work wages if they are working, and that gets become a whole bureaucracy and causes a lot of people to receive more benefits than they deserve. So what's going to happen? Well, the former commissioner says that possible payment interruptions could happen between 30 to 90 days. You should take that seriously. Any delay in receiving monthly benefits will be devastating for millions. One SSA employee warned that people who can't work and are waiting on disability decisions will experience immense financial hardships. With fewer staffs and offices, getting assistance with problems will become more difficult. And one employee warned that drastically cutting everybody and everything has the real potential of erasing people's record of lifetime contribution before their eligibility for. So, if you are currently not receiving benefits, you should go to Social Security and print out your earnings record, because the way these guys are messing with the system, if they erase your record, how are you going to put it back? Congress is mixed about this. Republicans are staying quiet because they're going to do anything that Trump's want them to do, which is not surprising. Democrats are pushing back, but they don't have access to the House or the Senate or the presidency, so they can only push back and make noise. But the Republicans have the House and the Senate and the presidency, and they can pass whatever they want. At least anything that President Trump has indicated that he wants. I don't see anybody standing in his way. So this is likely to happen, and the Doge rampage is going to continue. So, how do you prepare? Emergency savings, listen to Martin O'Malley and have some money just in case. Contact the Social Security Administration and make sure they have your correct information, and stay informed. There are a lot of groups out there that are fighting back that you can join if you want your voices to be heard. And long term, well, we'll see where this goes. Doge says they are here to root out abuse, fraud, and waste, which I wholeheartedly support. But the way they're going about it is so indiscriminate and without a plan. They're firing people and then they have to hire them back. This is not being done, in my opinion. The way things are happening, it doesn't look like there was a plan designed for minimum hurt to the wrong people. What they're doing is that the people who are being hurt by this, the people who are being impacted, there's so much unintended consequences to what Doge is doing that it's going to be hard to see if net they achieve their objective, because the savings so far that they're indicating, I don't know if it's worth all the noise and all the disruption and all the anxiety they're causing, especially to seniors on Social Security, disability, and food stamps, who are likely to suffer as a result of all this. So that's all I have for you. Let me know what you think about Doge, what is happening there, the threat to Social Security benefits, and what you think should be done. I want to hear from you in the comment section below. And as usual, if you have anything that you think will highlight or would improve or will shed light on what I'm talking about, let me know your voice in the comment section below. I appreciate hearing from you all, and I'll see you tomorrow on my live video.